Hey guys, the Tech Prepper, hope you're all doing well. Today we're just going to do a freestyle video. I decided to come out with a friend to do some light training out here in Wickenburg, Arizona. And we've had some rain. We knew we were going to get rain, so we came out anyhow and improvised a little bit of a tarp shelter here. 10 foot by 10.5 foot tarp. This thing is actually working pretty well with everything guyed out. We were under the tarp shelter earlier today when it was raining, but I want to show you the setup again. I did this experiment a few days ago, and it actually looks like I got a message here on JS8 call here, but I'm running a digital mode called JS8 call, and we are doing HF messaging without any intermediate infrastructure. We're in Wickenburg. The other station is somewhere in Buckeye, so maybe 30-ish miles. There are terrain features that are getting in the way. And like I said, the antenna I'm going to show you seems to be giving us regional comms, even though it is a vertical. So as I said before, NVIS Communication showers an area of about a 300-mile radius. And again, we don't believe this is ground wave propagation. But one of the first things I did here in terms of the messaging, I asked one of the guys in my group who has the contact details of, for example, my wife here, and I just got an acknowledgement back from him. And after establishing some signal reports with him, I sent him this message, and it reads, KCA-OWL. I sent him a message, relay to India 1, okay at Camp Alpha. And his station responded with an acknowledgement. And then not only that, I also did get a message from him right now that reads, RR for Roger Roger, will do. So really quite fantastic to be able to have these true off-grid comms. And then we are just running the TX-500MP here on the standard JS8 call watering frequency. As I mentioned before, I fabricated a little counterpoise here, and it's going out about 17 feet in that direction. And then I have a couple of connectors here going from N-type to SO239 to a 3/8 by 24, and I'm running the Hustler RM40 resonator, and the whip is actually fairly small here. So again, I'm not terribly tall, but that's probably about, let's call it 7 feet. So anyways, we got some more adventures, some other modes we're doing, but this first one is a success. We're only running 10 watts on that rig, and I'm actually hoping for more rain. In fact, we were able to do this underneath the little shelter here, and our soil is incredibly tough. It was impossible to get our stakes in here. You can see this guy's all bent, and it looks a little bit like a gypsy campsite here, using just my standard trekking poles here. My favorite knot, taut line hitches everywhere, but I've got 12-inch garden stakes. That was the only thing that would go in here, and you can kind of see here, not all the stakes are in as far as we like. So not the best job, but it has a lot to do with the terrain here. So anyways, should be a lot of fun. If there's anything else that happens on this trip, I'll let you know. But this is not something I normally do. I'm more of a manned portable operator. Don't do too much car camping, but really happy with the setup. In fact, I picked up this tent at Target for 70 bucks. And part of the reason is I wanted to test out, actually, let's go inside the tent here. Let's go inside. Been doing a little bit more glamping, but really happy with this cot here from One Tigress. It has these legs here that are detachable, and if you don't use the legs, you're actually only that far off the ground. So really quite cool. Actually, also today we did a little bit of land nav to kind of test that out. But lots of room in this 4-person tent. Not bad for 70 bucks. And this is what it looks like on the underside of the Jeep. So kind of cool. The way that I had improvised this 10.5 foot by 10.5 foot actually allows for the rear window to go up. So there's a nice little pitch going out into here. This should be pulled in forward so we don't get as much moisture collecting here. But we had some issues with the soil to get everything staked in, and the tent pulled forward towards me a bit. But yeah, even the tailgate will open up here. And while it was raining today, we had that table under here. Pup was all down there. So yeah, good times. All right, guys, something comes up. Like I said, I'll let you know. So the buddy I'm with right now tells me I should have mentioned that the first contact we made was under the Jeep with the table underneath. The TX-500 was actually on the floor with the Hustler RM40 going up above the tire there. And in fact, the topmost element, the stinger, was actually touching the tire. We still made it happen, which is wild. And right now I am transiting our UTM coordinates. So I put RQTH and I have 12S and just pulled it right off the Garmin there. So we're going to probably try a few other modes. I think I'm going to try WinLink next and see if I can send some email. I'd like to also send an email to my wife. That's one of the cool services that allows ham radio operators to interoperate with anybody in the world that has a valid email address. So I'm also going to send a small sitrep or situation report to my wife. All right, folks. So one of the experiments we want to do is send some email. RDOP did not work, and we had to switch out the antenna for the end-fed half wave. Again, fairly low to the ground going into that Palo Verde. So it looks like the Hustler RM40 only really worked out well for us on JSA call, which was expected given that it's a compromised antenna. And right now we're going to send a sitrep to our buddy Mike via WinLink email. We're going to traffic our location. We had a couple of campsites, Alpha and Bravo. We have the coordinates here in UTM. Weather report was moderate rain earlier. Now it's 71 degrees Fahrenheit, light breeze with cloudy skies. Provisions, water okay, food okay. We left our bug zapper at the house, but no big deal. So we'll go ahead and post this, and we'll be using Vara for this. Action, connect. We just composed the email, and we should key up in a second. And we're monitoring with a twin TX-500MP. And we'll see if we can get into this station. We got in earlier to check a bunch of email. And we're connected, it looks like. Or sounds like. Yep. And this connection is actually fairly quick here. Once this appears from our outbox, we're good to go. And prior to this, we got a few messages in our inbox. So all of these are unread messages. So let's go to our outbox. And the nice thing about Vara, even though it is a Windows application, is that, we're going into Durango, is that it is quite fast here compared to RDOP. One other thing to note, we found that we actually had to adjust the microphone gain from 20 to 30. And we also had on Vara on the sound card, we had to max it out to 0 dB as well as the ALSA volume. And there's our email going through over the air from here to Colorado. There was some exciting winds and rains here just a minute ago. We're trying to get some coffee going. We've relocated underneath the cover here, and we're trying to squat now on 80 meters. And we were able to tune up our 40 meter end-fed half wave, so not ideal. And we had a couple of people make an appearance. We've got N7 TMX, we heard him. I told you, Brian, it goes quick.
Well, they've extended it to 8:15. Life-threatening situation.
We're gonna be fine. We got some coffee ready to go. Little FSQ on 80 meters. We'll be fine. So we've got proper thunder and lightning going on. We'll see if we have to head into the vehicles. What do you think, buddy? So the little man and I decided to get into the vehicle with the lightning and the thunderstorm going on. Right now it's gone down to a light rain, so I connected the TX-500MP while we're in here. And the cool thing about it is that it has the kickstand on either side, so you can run it in a horizontal configuration. And I still have the rear window open and had the feed line just draped in there. And the cool thing is I also have the Panasonic FZM1 mounted on the E-bar system here. And I sent a quick report here to the group, the TTP group. Okay, filming in heavy rain, T-storm earlier. So I got one station down there that acknowledged that. And just using the good old AAA wireless keyboard and mouse here, so it works really great. So that was a fun night, guys. After I had finished playing radio and the storm subsided for a bit, the pup and I went back into the tent. We slept really well, made some coffee this morning, and decided to use the old Tim N9 SAB's end-fed half-wave here. That was what we used all last night. In terms of the battery situation, TX-500MP. On this side, there's a button that shows you the number of lights. So it's 25, 50, 75, and 100%. And I was down to about 2 bars after all of that operating yesterday. So my buddy Brian, WN7D, let me borrow his 65-watt PD charger. And we've got the 15-volt PD cable. So it's charging nicely. And you can see here, we're charging at 18 watts, so pretty cool. I'm gonna be looking at getting probably a Anchor battery that's half this size. It's also high wattage like that. So far, this was a great trip. I think the only other experiment we might try running is putting our RM40 resonators on both of our man packs and trying some voice. I might leave that one for another video. This one's getting kind of long. But yeah, so far it was a great trip, especially with the rain, the thunderstorm. This tarp system actually worked out incredibly well on this trip. And I had some concerns that the water would beat off and get in the tent. It did not. I wish I could have moved this forward, but you know, that's something for next time. But again, just the amount of room here. Even last night, I kept the rear window open the entire time, so it was nice to be able to crawl in here and get stuff and do the thing. All right, guys, I guess we're gonna do our close here real quick. So, hey buddy, you wanna say goodbye to everybody? Come here. Okay. All right, a little freaked out. All right, guys, I'm the Tech Prepper. Be strong, be safe, and be prepared.
Seven 272, right?
Yeah, 7.272, lower sideband. Make sure you tune up again. He's walking with his counterpoise trailing him. The other cool thing about this radio is the little kickstands that allow you to go sideways. These actually work pretty well for stabilizing it. Roger, Roger, are you down by the other campsite where it looks like the Goodwill exploded?
Affirmative. You are loud and clear.
Yeah, so are you. So maybe you can also try trafficking your UTM coordinates once you get to a stopping point, and I can go ahead and plot you on the map. I can pull out my my kit out of the Jeep.
87 RUN WN7D. Easting 0331 220. I say again 0331 219 now. And the northing 374 9652. I say again 374 9652. Over.
Affirmative. Give me one moment to plot you on the map. I have your coordinates. Don't worry about if the last digit changes. You're just off by 1 meter. All right, very good, sir. You sound a little bit winded. It's probably time for you to get back. We're going to have to do some serious distance to really test this out. Over.
Roger that. KT7RUN WS7D RTB.
KT7 RUN monitoring.